Hey guys, welcome back to another Minecraft mod review. Today we will be reviewing Iron Spells and Spellbooks by Iron431. This mod is for Minecraft version 1.18, 1.19, 1.20, and 1.21. I'll be showing the pre-1.21 version of the mod in this video. In different chests around your world, you'll find different scrolls. These scrolls will be sorted into 9 different groups: Ender, Evocation, Ice, Blood, Lightning, Fire, Nature, Holy, and Eldritch. These scrolls by themselves have a one-time use and can be used without any mana cost. If you want to use these spells repeatedly, you'll need to craft some sort of magic book or imbue with another item with a spell, which we'll get to later. Unfortunately, it will cost mana to do the spells by doing it this way. The flimsy journal can be crafted by using 2 copper, 6 paper, and 1 string. This journal, along with a graybeard staff and wandering magician robes, will be part of your beginning gear to start off the pack. These tools will give you a slight boost in your spellcasting capabilities, such as faster mana regeneration, the bar at the bottom right of your screen when you cast a spell, and a higher max level of mana you can store. To actually equip these spells to your book or any other magical book in this mod pack, you'll need to use an inscription table. The block, after being right-clicked, will allow you to place your book and a scroll of your choosing in the interface. Once you scribe it, you can take it out by left-clicking on the scroll or on the spell itself, and then taking out the scroll from the bottom. You may be wondering if there's any other way to get spells, and there is. By using a scroll forge crafted by 4 crying obsidian, 3 polished deep slate, you can create your own scrolls with ink, paper, and a magical object. A vial blood for blood, an ender pearl for ender, an emerald for evocation, a blaze rod for fire, a divine pearl for holy, a frozen bone for ice, a lightning bottle for lightning, a poison potato for nature, and an echo shard for eldritch. After doing this, you'll have a list of spells you can choose from. To get better scrolls, you'll need better ink. Ink comes in 5 varieties: common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. Common ink is going to be, as the name suggests, most common. It can be found frequently in chests around your world compared to the others. You can also create this ink by putting water in an alchemist cauldron and any extra spells you may want to get rid of. This process will have a 50% chance of turning your ingredients into common ink. To upgrade this ink into uncommon ink, you'll need 4 common ink and 1 copper ingot. This is also the process for every ink after it, but instead of copper, you'll need iron, gold, and amethyst in that order. These better inks, other than locking new spells in the Arcane table, will also allow you to upgrade any spells you already have in the Arcane Anvil by placing your spell slot in the left and the ink you want to upgrade it. So if I take, let's go legendary, put it in the Arcane Anvil. Shoot. Is it uncommon ink for that one? Hold on. It was common ink. By putting them both in the anvil, you'll be able to upgrade the spell itself to the next level. Another use for the Arcane Anvil is the imbuement of spells. By combining a scroll and an object of your choosing, whenever you have that object in your hand or are currently using it, you'll gain access to the spell no matter how many spell slots are taken in your spellbook. Other than making ink, there are actually a few other uses for the alchemist cauldron. Still have that in there. If you place a 1 block wide animal or any type of mob into the cauldron itself, it will start to produce blood for the blood vial over there, which you can take out with a glass bottle. I would recommend chickens because you can get their eggs naturally, but any mob can work. You can also create new potions with the cauldron, such as oak skin elixir, invisibility elixir, and evasion elixir. These potions are created by using 2 bottles of the spell's required potion and right-clicking the cauldron with your recipe's block or item. To turn these potions in their greater form, you can use 1 bottle of your chosen elixir and the item required to enhance them, such as the amethyst shard for the oak skin elixir. Now, if you want to start your path down the creation of more magical enchantments, you're going to need the Arcane Essence and the Cinder Essence. Arcane Essence is easier to find in this mod because it's found in many loot chests and dropped from almost all magic enemies. On the other hand, to acquire Cinder Essence, you'll need to awake the ancient knights, which can be found in ancient battlegrounds scattered across the nether. You awake these knights by mining many of the piles of armor laying around with diamond pickaxe. Using the Arcane Essence you've collected, you can create Arcane Cloth. This cloth is required for new armor sets introduced in this mod. These armor sets also require the rune of their specific typing. You can find these runes by either finding and defeating the mob that holds the rune, such as Apothecarist for the nature rune, or you can craft them by using a blink rune, which you can get by shriving any magical rune with a shriving stone over here. All you have to do is craft the shriving stone and the rune together, or find them in different structures around the world and surrounding it with a magical item if you're choosing. All these armor sets give it user up 40% increased spell power of whatever type of armor they choose, 20% increase in overall spell power, and a 500% mana or a 500 mana increase unless you create the Netherite Battle Mage outfit, which still gives the mana and overall spell power increase, but replaces specific spell boost with the Netherite armor stats. There are a few things I didn't want to mention before going into the rings and books and stuff, and that is the materials in this mod pack I didn't know where to include. First off, we have the Permafrost Shard and the Frozen Bone. These two items have been dropped by the Cryomancer, or are dropped by the Cryomancer. The Frozen Bone can then be used to craft the Frosted Helve. The Dragon Scales are obviously dropped by the Ender Dragon. Hog Skin is dropped from Hoglins. The Lightning in the Bottle is obtained by using Glass Bottle and Charged Creeper. You can get 3 of these before the Creeper dies. The Tarnished Crown you get from defeating the Necromancer. And I wanted to mention my modded series, The Farm. I'll have a link to it at the top right of your screen and at the end of the video if you want my explorations into the structures of this mod too. Now on to the new ores added in the game, being the Arcane Salvage and the Arcane Ingot. The Arcane Ingot can be crafted with 1 gold ingot and 8 Arcane Essence. The Arcane Salvage can only be smelted from the Arcane Debris, which is found in the overworld under y = -38, and can only be mined with a Netherite pickaxe. Next we have the Upgrade Orbs. A blank version of these orbs can be crafted with 4 Arcane Ingots, 4 Arcane Essence, and 1 Arcane Salvage. By combining an empty Upgrade Orb and a rune of your choosing, you can create a magical Upgrade Orb, which after combining with the magical item, you'll give the item a 5% increase in its specified spell power. You can only use 2 of these upgrades on 1 item, so be careful. I'm just going to speed through the rings and necklaces because there's way too many. The Ring of Mana gives 100 plus 100 max mana. Ring of Recovery gives a 15% cooldown reduction. Emerald Stoneplate Ring gives 25 more experience from slaying creatures. The Heavy Chain gives 15% spell resistance. Fireward Ring gives a wearer fire immunity. The Frostward Ring gives freezing immunity. Poison Word Ring gives poison immunity. The Ring of Invisibility lets you barely see creatures that are invisible. Other than that, it's a joke item. The Conjurer's Necklace gives you 10% summon damage. The Amethyst Resonance Charm gives you 15% mana regeneration. And finally, the Amulet of Concentration allows long cast to be uninterruptible. I'm gonna switch the weather first. I did lie earlier in saying that the Ring of Affinity does nothing. If combined with a spell in the Arcane Anvil, it will increase the level of that spell of your choice by 1, which makes it more powerful. These are the 9 different types of rings you can get from that. Finally, I can move on to the books. The majority of these books are rare drops from different mods. The Grimoire of Evocation is a rare drop from Evokers and Arch-Evokers. The Necronomicon is a rare drop from the Dead King, and the Blaze Manual from the Blazes. Each of the books previously mentioned gives an additional 200 max mana and 10% increase in its certain spell power, except for the Necronomicon, which instead gives a +1 to the spell, Raise of the Dead. Another similar book to these is the Druidic Tome, which can be crafted with a Spore Blossom, 2 Arcane Cloth, a Honey Bottle, a Rotten Spell Book, which can be found in chests around your world, an Amethyst Cluster, and a Glow Sack. If you want to increase any of these books slots to a max of 12, you can combine the Lesser Spell Slot Improvement, which is crafted by using 6 Hogskin and 3 Arcane Cloth, with your book in an Arcane Anvil. In this mod pack, there are a few swords added, that being the Amethyst Rapier, the Spellbreaker, the Decrepit Flamberge, and the Mage Hunter. The Rapier and the Spellbreaker are both crafted using an item called Weapon Parts. You can craft this item with 3 Arcane Salvage and 2 Arcane Ingots. The other 2 swords are the Decrepit Flamberge, and the Mage Hunter. These are both drops from bosses in this mod. The Flamberge from the Dead King and the Mage Hunter from the Vindicator on the 2nd floor of the Arch-Evoker forts. There's also a surprisingly small amount of wands for a magic mod. The wands that are in this mod are the Blood Staff, which is dropped from the Dead King, the Ice Staff, created with Permafrost Shard and Frosted Helve, the Rod of Lightning, which is obtained after using an Energized Core, created with 1 block of copper and 8 bottles of lightning, on a lightning rod while it is thundering. Do watch out though, because it will leave an explosion behind. The Artificer's Cane, which is created with 3 Crimson Planks, 2 gold, and 1 amethyst, and finally the Hither Thither wand, which I've only heard of being sold by wandering traders. If you know any other way of obtaining it, leave it in the comments below. Now, if we walk through here, I can show you the Eldritch spells. There are 5 Eldritch spells you can find in this mod, but to learn the names and how to use them, you'll need to craft an Eldritch manuscript, which is crafted with 1 Echo Shard and 8 Ancient Knowledge Fragments, which are found in ancient cities. By right-clicking on the manuscript, it will pull up this UI, where you can choose which spell you want to learn. Be careful though, because once used, it will disappear from your inventory. If you want to know what spell you've gotten before wasting your manuscript, if you scribe the scroll in your book, you'll be able to see the spell icon in your arsenal even if you haven't learned it yet. While in the ancient cities, you might find ruined books. Although useless by themselves, you can craft them into the 2 best books in the entire mod. The Dragonskin Spell Book and the Ancient Codex. Both give an extra 200 mana and have 12 spell slots. But the Dragonskin book has 10% more ender power, while the Ancient Codex has a 20% cooldown reduction. Finally, you have the Wayward Compass, crafted with 4 Arcane Essence, 4 Iron, and 1 Soul Lantern. I've mentioned the Dead King a few times now, but the only way to find him other than stumbling around in caves is by using a Wayward Compass and locating the catacombs. Thank you guys for watching the video the entire way through. If you want to see more, leave a like and make sure to comment any mods you want to see me explore next. See ya!